then immediately after they have taken over, come up and they want to change everything about the personnel that was working for that county when the governor who was there before them was there. And that goes into some of them deliberately trying to disband the Public Service Board, some of them doing cross-transferred, even some of the individuals within the county system, whether it's health, whether it's road construction, and even if these people were trained and they received executive training so that they could produce the results were expected, they're immediately transferred because they are not behaving nicely. Mr. Speaker, if you look at all our county governments, none of them has ever done, and I would like to see which one has, and I will give them recommendations for an A. Many of the county governments, close to, out of the 47, close to 40, have never done a biometric registration exercise to know the total number of workers in the county system who are either permanent and pensionable or temporary workers. And some of these, Mr. Speaker, the reason why, and I want to tell my colleagues here, is because many of our colleagues, the governors who are saying how this house is useless and in fact we have no business talking to them, are the ones who have been keeping those lists where they are having the lists manual and they are paying a wage bill of about 40 to 50 million a month. That money is what is the cash cow and is the kitty that is supposed to be utilized to do politics. Mr. Speaker, when you look at the way our governors behave, immediately a governor is elected, the pending bills that existed, they disregard all of them and begin to bring companies that were working, that are owned by their friends, and these companies are the ones that are given work, and as a result, they have thrown away the first in, first out policy which used to be there in government employment and government payments, and right now it is whoever that knows the executive who is paid first, and those are the people who receive the best jobs in the county governments. As a result, like in Kisii County, our pending bills when I was elected 4 years ago were actually 1.2 billion. Up to now, close to 700, 800 million has been paid out as pending bills money. But Kisii again has incurred an extra pending bill of 1 billion shillings. So these are the issues that I think we need to talk about. You look at the own source revenue, how much money are county governments collecting? Why do counties don't want to have the same financial platform to run their taxes which they are collecting, like KRA does? In fact, some of them had wanted to use KRA. They don't. They must get a company which comes up and works, and that company is the one which kickbacks are exchanged, and that is where they share the money, Mr. Speaker. The truth and the reality is that now we are the highest taxers. We are the people who tax most our sick people. The FIF funds which are supposed to be generated within our health facilities in our counties, which were never meant for profit making. Now those funds are actually kept. Most of them are collected manually. Some very good counties have gone the electronic way, and we give them appreciation. We have seen what they are doing, but many of our friends in this sector are actually taking FIF funds, and they are the funds which they are mismanaging. Mr. Speaker, I will give you just 3 examples. A company comes to Kisii 3 years ago and is supposed to be doing the work of constructing the facilities that were supposed to be for industrial. There's a word we use, Mr. Speaker, I can't remember it right now. The company that was given that tender without any procurement was paid in advance 475 million. And the building that they were doing, Mr. Speaker, is on first, I think on second floor. And that building is supposed to be building the governor's office. The governor of Kisii already has an office. The county assembly were the ones missing a few blocks, maybe 1 block, and they would have most probably been fitted into those offices. We are at 450 and we are not done yet. Mr. Speaker, when you look at procurement laws, you gentlemen, you saw the other day, my governor brilliantly came out and displayed all those machines saying how he's going to do fantastic roads. The truth is, those machines, nobody knows who the owner is. The company that is supposed to do roads in my county, nobody knows who he is. The employees who are supposed to work, nobody knows whether they're private or they're going to be workers of the county government. And as we speak, nobody has seen a single discussion, a single agreement, seen what the county government and this PPP outfit signed. And the truth, when you listen to all the contractors and people who are the stakeholders, no public hearings were discussed for people to be asked whether the county government was going to go and buy machinery and equipment worth R1 billion shillings. And yet, Mr. Speaker, the amount of money that was in the budget to purchase those machines was 200 million, which means Kisii County again has now created another pending bill. Then you come where lawyers are having cases, and those cases are won by the litigants, and the county government doesn't go for appeal, and their fees increase from 2.1 million to 7.9 million because the county refused not to pay the litigants, and as a result, there are 3-4 cases like that. And you look at the whole audit report, 375 million, which cannot be accounted completely on money used for fueling machines and equipment of the county government. There is a section where we are also discussing about 48 million, which has been used for fuel and lubricants. If you look at the total number of vehicles that the county government has got, fuel and lubricants, if members of this office, this house, could sit down and calculate what 48 million can buy in fuel in a year, so that we are able to know how many vehicles you need to have, which kilometers you do and all that, you'll find this is one of the biggest scams on how money is pilfered from the CRF, as if vehicles are being run and as if we are going to fuel all these vehicles which the governor is running from. Of course, some governors think they're president, so they are running around and going to functions and rallies. Finally, Mr. Speaker, what do we do? Suggestions. I know many of us are always criticized that we never give solutions. We need to get out of this building and go and visit these counties, because the dirt and the stuff going on, we must be able to visit. We must make sure that we give master and clout to the EACC, if it means we create an independent arm that is going to monitor and audit and look at the criminality going on with all our counties. We can do that. The systems must be made stronger. We must create a higher standard of public good, where people who are leaders are able to carry themselves with decency, and we must strengthen Chapter 6. I have not discussed the minerals and how some governors are selling minerals from their county governments. I have not discussed how in Kisii, Tabaka Soapstone, my governor picks up a Chinese company and gives them the picking out of all the soapstone, the only stone like that in the world, and they take it away. And yet the president, and when we were discussing this 2 years ago, we said Kisii needed to have a factory because the soapstone is a very unique stone globally. We are, I think, 1 or 2 other countries that have that stone. And yet, we sell that to the Chinese. We are cutting trees, Homa Bay, South Nyanza, and Kisii County, where the Chinese are crushing our timber, and they are picking it, putting it in trucks, and these trucks are sending the timber to China. Then it is brought to look like what we have here. You think the timber is natural, and yet it's just been doctored. And you know what? We are deforesting unbelievably. Soon, Kisii is going to become a desert. These are the issues. Our governors don't do public hearings. They don't consult anybody. They don't ask anybody, even when they're doing anything. When we begin to talk about oversight, they say we are extorting them. They say we are petty. They say we want their money. And we have been telling them we no longer admire money that is stolen, that is supposed to make us happy. What we want to be proud bequeathers of Kenya's history, so that when devolution is high, is rated, is evaluated, and for the last 15 years, what is it that we have done that has changed the lives of our people? That is why our youth are getting angry with us, because they believe all of us are thieves, and all of us basically steal their futures. Mr. Speaker, I want to beg to this House This is the best opportunity we have to sort out the mess we have created. Let us look at the structures. Let us look at the consolidated fund. Let us look at the CRF fund, how it's being handled. Let us look at the IFMI system. Let us make sure the e-payment system, if that is what it requires for us to straighten the financials, so be it. You find governors who are not giving the statutory payments. My county, Kisii, cannot pay KRA 36 million. 36 million. You have people who are supposed to be given gratuity. They are not being paid. And it's not just Kisii only. It is this republic. Can you imagine we who work in this house going home after we have finished our 1, 2, 3 terms, and you are told that Parliament cannot pay your gratuity? How would you feel? Money that was picked from NHHF, NHIF, NSSF, all those deductions were picked by the governor. And some